So it's time for that different thing that I promised you, which, if you remember me saying it on one of my videos, it's something different just to keep me entertained, basically. You are here to witness the beginning of the Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championships. I'll see if I can say that again and get it right. The Supermarket Premium Lager Taste Test Championships. And that's basically the beers in the supermarket that are a little bit dearer than the ones that come in the 4-packs and stuff. I've decided which ones are going to be these premium, are going to be counted as premium. So I've not included your Madri, I've not included your normal Birra Moretti and things like that. But here's a little look at the beers that were included. So I've chosen 16 beers that are available in the supermarket, and they're generally in those, like, you know, £3 for £6 range, where they're a bit dearer if you buy them separately. And let's have a look. So let's have a look at the first half of the table then. So it's basically a knockout championship, and we're going to put them up against each other, sort of 2 at a time, and then we're going to keep going through the championship until we get the winner. So you'll probably get bored probably about after the first 3 ones, but we'll see how it goes. So this is the first half of the table. We've got Tyskie, well, I know it's Tyskie, Asahi, Singha, Birra Moretti, Sal de Mer. So I didn't include normal Birra Moretti, but there's this other Birra Moretti which seems to be a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more exclusive. Pilsner Urquell, Staropramen, Camden Helles, and Warsteiner. So that's your first half there. I say that they've already been drawn. They've already been drawn at random in pairs, but they're the ones that made it to the first 8. And let's have a look at the bottom half of the table. So you'll notice at the bottom half of the table we've got Stella Artois there. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd stick a beer that is definitely not premium in there as well, and just to see how well it does. Okay, just to see how well it does, just to see if it competes against any of these beers. And if you look at that in the first round, it's up against Korab. Now, I've never had that before, so I don't know what it looks like, I don't know what it tastes like, smells like, so you never know. I might not know which one's Stella out of those two when I taste them. Victoria Malaga, which is one that's in Morrison's, I've never had that one before. Krombacher Pils, Budvar, Menabrea, Paulana, and Brewdog Lost Lager. So that's basically the way it's going to pan out. They're the 16 that I chose. There were a few others. There are a few that had to that didn't make the grade, but as I say, that's basically how the table is panning out. And we're also going to do the first matchup here and now, which is Tyskie Grony against Asahi. So just a bit of an introduction to the glasses and the beers and the glasses that we'll be using. So here we go. So one of them is Asahi Dry, which is, well, people will know this one. It is 5.0% ABV. It's a 500ml bottle, and as I say, they were in the 3 bottles for £6 deal. And it's about £2 something a bottle, if you buy them separately. And the old Tyskie Grony, which I've spelt wrong in the table, I've just realised. But yeah, Tyskie Grony, which basically is a Polish beer, and I think it's 5%. It used to be 5.6. It probably still is in Poland. Can't find any info on this, but I know it is 5% ABV. So they're both 5% ABV. Actually, there it is. 5.0%, yep. So they're both 5.0% ABV, both the same strength. Not going to witter on too long because they're getting warm. And just an introduction to the glasses. Now, I was a bit unsure as to how to do this. It's going to be a blind taste test, blindish, because obviously I've got these 2 glasses that are similar but different, which should be okay. I'm going to get my wife to pour them, and basically keep a note of which beer is in which glass. So I'm going to know when I ask her later which one was which. But I was wondering whether to put them in something that I couldn't see through, because some of these beers I kind of know what colour they are. Some of them I don't know what colour they are. Some of them might look a different colour anyway, so I might not be that certain. So if I would know one's a slightly more amber coloured beer, just because I think one looks more amber coloured doesn't mean that that's particularly that one. So I was thinking, you know, if it was truly blind, I wouldn't have glasses. I'd have something you couldn't see through, so we couldn't see it. But then it would be a bit of a boring taste test, really, if we couldn't see the beers. So I'm going to basically review the beers like I would do. Going to talk about the colour. I'm going to talk about how they've poured, even though I won't be pouring them. I'm going to talk about the nose. Going to talk about the taste. Just review them like I would. I'm going to stop banging these glasses together before they break. But I'm going to review them like I would normally review a beer. So it's going to be like a double beer review. and also which one I prefer. And it's really not, it's not about whether I can recognise these beers by just taste alone. It's about which beer I prefer, and I'm not going to be swayed by which I think is which. So if I think this one's stellar and this one's like Polana, which I love, if I prefer the one that I think is stellar, then that's the one that's going to go through, if that makes sense. So anyway, there you go. So that's the beers, that's the glasses. Let's get them poured. Let's get cracking on. Okay, beers poured. Right, so immediately, so the beers have been poured. I don't know which one's which, but I will find out when I've done this. They had a slightly bigger head than this when they were poured, but that was a little bit ago. But this one didn't have as big a head when poured, so that one looked very... Now, I'm not sure if that's the beer or if it's the glass. That had a bit of a head, quite almost like a bubbles, like fairy liquid bubbles kind of head. This had a thicker, creamier head. If you're looking at them, they are both exactly the same colour. So this will be interesting. So they both look exactly the same. I don't know which of these would give you a better, where you get a thicker head essentially. So I have no idea which one's which out of these. So just for people who want to, well, basically don't want to play along at home, I'm going to put on the screen now which one's which, because future me will know which one's which. So there you go. So that was which one was which. But I'm going to have a little go now and see, first of all, if I can tell which one might be which and which one I prefer, which is the more important bit. So first of all, we're going for nose. I'm going to go for this one in the Augustina glass. Right, so that's interesting. Quite a mild aroma there. Now I'll look really stupid if I don't know which one's which out of these, quite possibly. Or if I'm definitely, because I think I definitely know which one this is. Even though I've not smelt the other one yet. Right, okay, let's try the other one then, and just see whether it changes. Oh, I don't know now, they smell very similar. They smell very similar. Oh, I don't know now. That one's got a very strange smell to it, a smell that I'm not familiar with, which is why I'm thinking it's the one I'm thinking it is. I don't like the smell of this one as much. So this one smells a little bit stale. It smells a bit basementy. It's a little bit more malty. Let's try this one again. And that one's got a little bit of that as well. It's got a little bit of that stale basement kind of smell to it. Nose wise, I'm not that impressed with either of them. But you never know. When one of them gets into the next round, which it will, maybe it'll smell different. So the taste will be where it's at though. Who goes around sniffing beers? No one. They're there to be drunk, so we're going to start drinking. Right, so I should really have a glass of water to cleanse my palate in between, but we'll try it without and just see how it goes. So I'm going to go for this one first. So this one with the mouldy basement smell. Oh yeah, definite mouldy basement smell in there. Let's dive in. Cheers. So mouldy basement smell. It's got a bit of a mouldy basement taste as well, if I'm honest. So if that's the Tyskie, I would be very surprised. That's all I'm saying about that. Only because I've had Tyskie recently. In fact, a couple of days ago. But Asahi I've not had for a long time. So let's see this one. See if this one tastes like Tyskie. So this one's got a bit of a breadiness. Still got a bit of that kind of mouldy basement taste. I gotta say, neither of them are particularly good, as far as I'm concerned. The fact that that one's not got much of a head on it as well is leading me to believe that it's something that I'm not familiar with. There's a bit of apple in the taste there, but kind of like mouldy apple. It's I'm hoping there's nothing wrong with that bit. It's crisper. It's a lot more bitter, this one. This one's a lot smoother and less bitter. That one, I won't lie, I'm struggling a bit with it. I'm not enjoying the taste. To me, it does taste a bit stale. I'm hoping that's not just because it's a bad bottle. I will reassess some of these possibly if I feel like they may have had a bad thing and maybe have a little wildcard entry later or something like that. But yeah, I mean, this one is beating it by a country mile at the moment. So this one I think is going through. And there's a bit of metallic taste in this one, and I do get a metallic taste with Tyskie. So I'm definitely, I'd look really stupid if I'm wrong, but I think that's definitely the Tyskie. That's definitely the Asahi, although I thought Asahi was better than that, to be honest. If that's Tyskie, it's a really bad bottle of Tyskie. Something's gone wrong there if that's Tyskie. So there you go. So I'm thinking that's Tyskie, that's Asahi, that one's going through, regardless of what it is, because that one is far better than that one, I think. So there you go. So I'm going to find out which one's which, and then we'll do another little thing to camera just to see whether I've got egg on my face or not, and then we can then establish which one's actually going through, although I've already put which one was which at the beginning. But this is for anybody who didn't take the spoiler at the beginning, where I was showing you which one was which. Let's have a see what happens. So we are back, and we've got the bottles now. So we've got the two glasses here, and we've got the two bottles here, the Tyskie and the Asahi. And basically, I've just been told that I don't have to hand in my my beer reviewing badge, because this indeed was the Tyskie and this was the Asahi. So I really don't know. I don't know whether to get another bottle of Asahi just to just to make me think that it's not as bad as that, because I thought it was a pretty good beer, this, but I'm not getting that from this. So what I might do is I might just have a little look I might have a taste from the bottle, just in case it's something to do with the glass. Now what I didn't open this very well. There you go. So I could put the lid back on. It's not for me. It's bitter and it's got this kind of weird. It's kind of like a grassy note. Straight from the bottle, it's like a grassy note. It's not for me, that. It might be the dryness in it, which is causing that flavour. Could be that it's a bad bottle. I might get another bottle sometime just to see whether it's the same. But yeah, that's the same beer. Definitely not pleasant. Did not enjoy that one bit. The Tyskie is sweeter, it's smoother. It's not a great beer by any chance. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be when it was 5.6% when it first came over. But yeah, definitely that way around. Yes, this is so much better. I could drink this all day. This, I think I'd struggle to drink any more of this, to be honest. So there you go. So first round, Tyskie through, Asahi knocked out. So there you go. Stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully you're going to enjoy this series. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it anyway, regardless. So I might as well put it on YouTube. I'm going to do it anyway. First one was a success. I correctly identified the Tyskie. Don't think every round's going to be this easy, but well. Anyway, until next time, have a good one.